I'm live. You never know because YouTube. Anyways, it is Tuesday. It is 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, and I'm going to do a geode. And hopefully it works because you never know. You just never know. Stay tuned. What's up, you guys? It is Tuesday. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I'm gonna geode. I know that geodes are kind of like getting just everyone's doing them, and it's almost on like the downturn of geodes. But I have this guy. Jeff got this for me before he left, and I haven't used it yet. It is a massive freeform geode, and we've been thinking about putting these in our shop, but I wasn't sure if it's something that like you guys would be interested in or not. So let me know either in the live chat or down in the description box below this video. Dun, dun, dun. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Hello, Miss Howe. I'm glad you made it. Yes, this is a pre-cut piece that Jeff did for me before he left to Kansas. And I just haven't been inspired lately. You know, people send me all the time things to review or paint or test, and I have to kind of set these things aside until I'm inspired by something to use them. Because I feel like if I just paint it for the sake of painting it, I'm not really doing the products any favors, you know? I feel like, yeah, I'm not doing anything any favors if I just paint it for the sake of painting it. I have to look at it and be like, yes, I have the exact technique I want to use for that. Here we go. So, I was doing a video for someone yesterday, and I did just some coasters with the leftover on a clear piece of the same kind of acrylic. And I was like, yes, yes, yeah, yes. This inspired me to do basically an underwatery, mermaidy, freeform, pre-cut geode. And I hope it works out. If it doesn't, live and learn. If it does, it'll be amazing. This is not MDF. This is the same kind of cast acrylic that we do our clear canvases with. And just as with those, I'm going to peel up just one side of the masking. It comes with masking on both sides. It's 100% clear all the way through, but in order to avoid scratches and whatever in transit, we keep this on. That goes for our coasters, the canvases, the stir sticks. Anything that comes from us that's clear is going to have this on it. So make sure you don't pour your resin on this paper masking because you're just going to waste your resin. I'm actually going to peel up the other side because Jeff was doing something and he kind of pre-cut. Actually, I'm going to do this side because it'll fill it in. So these are little cuts that he was doing, trying to pre-cut the design in it, which is something else that we're considering. I feel like it'd be neat to have the design pre-cut so that, you know, some people have issues knowing where to put certain colors and how to make it not too crazy and busy. So I was thinking just pre-cut the areas and you just peel the masking off of each area that you're going to pour on, but that's not this piece. It's just an idea we've been toying with. What do you guys think? Geodes can definitely be intimidating. It's a lot of resin. It's a lot of knowing how colors are going to interact with each other. It's a big time investment as well. Hey, Jake from Rasa, what's up? Jeff took your easel with him on his adventure to Kansas. If you guys haven't seen the Rasa easel review that Jeff did not too long ago. Actually, I think it was like last week, or yeah, I think it was last week. Check it out. It's a really interesting product because it's an easel, but it's a notepad, and it all folds up, and it's still really sturdy to draw on vertical, which is important for someone like Jeff who is used to painting, you know, on his big easel. But when he's just traveling and wants to doodle, which you guys know he's always down to doodle, it's like the perfect travel companion for an artist that wants to use an easel. This is not a paid review. Rasa sent us one to just check out for you guys. If it was crap, you know I would tell you guys. I've actually gotten in trouble from companies because I did a review and they were like, you didn't say that many positive things about it. And I'm like, I told you that I only do honest reviews of things on my channel before you sent me anything to review. So you should be mad at yourself. Anyways. Paint by numbers, right? That's basically what the geode would be like a paint by numbers of. It wouldn't tell you what color to put where, but it would tell you like just a guideline. And this would be a lot easier to take off if all these little etchings weren't in here, because when it etches through the plastic, it obviously will etch through the paper. What's up, Mary Smith? I hope you're all having a fantastic, marvelous, awesome sauce Tuesday. Finally. All right. Also, if you guys haven't gone over to Color Art's page and voted for your favorite piece that people have done with her products, get on over there and vote. Whoever wins gets like $500 in products. I have decided that if our piece wins, I would love to regift it or cut it up into a lot of little competitions, like 5 $100 prize packs, because giving back to you guys is my favorite thing. Like, that's my favorite thing. So I'm not vying for votes right now. I'm just saying, I hope someone, there's so many really good pieces in the competition that I hope one of them wins it. But if I do, that's what's going to happen. Hi, Cindy from Tampa. In Sarasota. We're going to be in Bradenton. What's up, Mary Jane? How are you doing? Your order went out yesterday, I believe. If you haven't gotten your confirmation, let me know. So I'm out of my big resin mixing buckets. So I may be like double mixing for this one. And I'm going to go ahead and add some crystals into the middle area of this, but I'm going to pre-mix this resin first because I want it to kind of set and thicken up just a little bit. So yeah. Thank you, Clearscape. Cindy. So, what do you guys think of this board and the idea of like pre-etching areas of where color could go? That's not to say you have to stick to those, because I'm going to test it and see if, since this was pre-etched, you can see that cut doesn't go all the way through, but it definitely, sorry, keep hitting the camera, definitely gets down in there, you know? So I'm going to see if, when I put resin on it, if it kind of makes those lines disappear. I think it'd be something neat, but you never know. I know a lot of people have issues when they make their freeform shapes. It's hard to make an attractive shape with a geode without ultimately seeing a vagina. Beep. You guys know what I'm talking about. I can't be the only one. Oh, same place. Okay, good. I'm excited to see you there as well then, Cindy. What's up, Linda? Petra! Hey, Dingan. So, I know a lot of people have issues with making a proper shape for their geodes and also keeping the lines consistent inside of the geode. So I think that if you leave the masking on for the different areas and just do that resin, let it set up for 6 hours, take the next edge up, let it set, take the next edge, that might help guide people on shape. I don't know. It's just a thought. You know, we have a lot of thoughts that some are great thoughts and some are just horrible thoughts. So I love seeing what you guys think of our ideas. Y'all are the best sounding board because we do all this for y'all, you know? What's up, Doris? Bring me a taco. Oh, that's awesome, Petra. Jeff and I, for those that don't know, are trying to make our way to the Netherlands to see Petra and like Saskia. There's a couple other artists there that I would love to meet. So Petra's helping me out with that. So once I get this resin fully mixed, I'm going to just set it aside. This is not the quick coat, it's the art coat. And so it's got a, you know, a good viscosity. It's not too runny and it's not too thick. But, you know, if you let it set in a larger quantity like this, it kind of speeds up the setting process. That's why a lot of jugs and things will say the pot life, which is how long it's in here, versus open time, which is how long you can work it on your surface. So most resins recommend getting it out of your mixing cup ASAP, but I'm just going to push that a little bit today so that I can thicken this up just a little bit. Thing about that is you have to really watch it, because once it starts to thicken up, it goes from thickening up to you can't really use it anymore because it's too set in like not long. So, but that's a good thing about Stone Coat's resin is that it's forever working time, even with the pot life. Hi, Beans. A lot of times I'll use quick coat. I'm out of quick coat. A lot of times I'll use quick coat for my geodes, but that's not happening right now, So, thank you, Doris, for that. I'm also going to, I think, what do you guys think? I got these mermaidy looking stones I'm thinking about putting on the inside of this. What, Bowie? I'm thinking they may be too long though, because this is a 1/4 inch thick board and these are like 1.5 to 2 inch spikes. So yeah, maybe not with these, or maybe on the next layer. So another awesome thing about if we do sell these is that it's already clear and it's a very solid base. So you could do a side table or something like that with something like this, because it would be clear all the way through. You probably wouldn't even tell that there's a layer of this acrylic under it. Oh, but let's hope. We'll see. Thanks, Doris. What's up, Clara? Oh, he loves it, Rasa. If you have anything else that you want us to look at, we already know that you have quality artist materials like that easel, so shoot me a message and let me know. Clara, I am having a good time with my thumbnails. Anytime I have time to do a quirky thumbnail, I definitely try to do it. A lot of times I don't have time. Tis what it is. All right, let's get this show on the road. I need more little tiny baby cups. I guess Bowie has decided he does not want to be on camera anymore right now, but I will rotate the Bowie cam back out if he decides to hang out over here again. So, the colors I'm using today are Just Resin's Titanium White, 007 Gold from Color Obsession, this looks really orange. um, 007 by Color Obsession, and dark turquoise from Color Obsession. I'm using this dragon scale from Kaos Resin Pigments. I used it on yesterday's video, love it, so we're going to do it again. And I'm also using Artist Sue's Fantasy Blue powder. When I do geodes, I really like to incorporate at least one powder because it gives a unique texture. It gives a unique texture. Cindy, are you talking about this? Can you cut this with a drum? Oh, the stones, probably not. I don't know what's in them. They're obviously probably not natural since they're like shimmering holographic-y. I don't know. So I was going to go ahead and glue some stones on here. I guess I can go ahead and do my this area. So I'm going to use some fiberglass. It comes in like 1,000,000-pound bags. This is just the clear. And I usually use the kind that has like a mirrored back to them because it looks better when like light hits it. It makes it more sparkly. But I think I'm out. I think I'm out of those. So I'm going to probably put some hot glue around just this inside area just to help my glass stick. And And I know you guys told me a while back that I should like add a drop of hot glue to this and then put it on the back of this. And I tried that and I failed. It didn't line up for some reason. Anyways, horrible story short, it was a hot mess. So I'm not gonna fully coat this area with hot glue. I'm just gonna like add some. The thing with hot glue is you have to work pretty quickly. And I'm not really counting on this hot glue to be what keeps the glass stuck in these areas. I'm really going to be relying on my resin to do that. Are there any hot glue guns out there that don't just leak when you just set them down? Or is that just something I'm forever going to be struggling with? Probably forever going to struggle with, huh? So because hot glue dries really quickly, you have to do what you're going to do with it relatively soon after you lay your hot glue anywhere, or else you're just going to be wasting hot glue. It's not expensive really anyways, so it's fine. Mary, the Fantasy Blue is going to be just a powder mica. Awesome, Cindy. Please message me before we head down that way so I can remember to pack them. I'm fairly sure that hot gluing these it's not really going to do much as opposed to just coating the area with resin. But you never know, and I'm always down to try new things, so that's what I'm doing. Hot glue really sticks to resin. Oh, good. For some reason, I was thinking that hot glue and resin really don't stick to each other very easily, but I could be way wrong about that. I guess because it's like a plastic versus plastic. How do I make my big molds? What's up, Beyond? How's school? This actually didn't come from a mold. It is just laser cut. We just laser cut a big piece of plastic. So I'm just dribbling a little bit more on some areas. Now I'm gonna try to put some on this inside area. We'll see if it works. I don't know if it will. We're gonna find out together, shall we? We shall. I'm just gonna, oh, I'm sure my head's in the way. I'm just gonna drip this hot glue over the edge here. And then like press this glass into it. So that kind of worked. Probably be easier to just like hand place some of them, but I feel like that takes a long time. Can't rush perfection though, can you? It's kind of like when you make like popcorn balls, like how the caramel gets everywhere. Okay, I might just abort this plan real quick and just hot glue individual pieces on later. I hate aborting a plan though. Okay, since I have used all of the hot glue that I had in my hands, we're going to call this part of situation done. We have to switch gloves for sure. Okay. Tubes of hot glue that heat in the microwave. We're gonna have to find that. Going to Colorado Springs. I'm in Denver. Hope you guys have room. Clara or JJ or someone, can you add the link for the Colorado class for Carrie? Good luck on your exams. Thank you, Doris. Of course, we're still working out. So I'm gonna just knock off any extra glass. Pick up any scragglers down here. This actually doesn't look that bad. Like where the, okay. I know I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I've already switched gloves, but I really like how that part looks where it's like going all the way over the edge as opposed to where it's like bare. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna do it just in a couple more areas. I hope that's okay, y'all. I'm just doing a quick check on my resin, make sure it's not getting hot. Grabbing another hot glue stick. All right, glass. Bye, Beyond. Good luck on your tests and things. I'm just gonna rush through this. It's not gonna take me long to do this little part. And there's like chunks falling off that are like sticking to each other, which is also okay because then I can just stick those big chunks to the walls of my piece. So it's like double awesome. How am I gonna do this? I don't know. Didn't really think this part out very well. But that's okay. I'm just pressing this glass into the glue. Give up. I'm jumping around a little bit from area to area because I want to give that glue time to set up before I try to touch anything next to it. Ugh. Oh, it got messy. I feel like this irregular, hold on, Grant's Pass is calling me. Hello? Yeah, this is she. Good, how are you doing? Which what? It doesn't really matter. Do you have both of the driver's license numbers? Oh, you can put me down. It's fine. Yes. No worries. Thank you so much. All right. That was Stone Coat confirming our trip up to Oregon. Super pumped. You guys, I don't even know if you can see how awesome this is looking already, but it's like, it reminds me of those, like, that rock candy that you could get. You remember that rock candy? That was like basically just flavored sugar that is crystallized on a stick. I think we made that in science class one time. Not e-science class, or else it would have been like glittery for some reason. Anyways, that's what this is reminding me of so far. And I'm very much into it. God. So, what do you guys have planned this week in your lives? I've got Laura Taylor coming over at the end of this week, and I'm taking Jeff to see one of his favorite DJs, Dead Mouse. Also the end of the week. I love rock candy. Maybe I'll find a way to do that with resin. Like an ode to old school rock candy. That would be fun. Make sure you have gloves on when you do this, because hot glue is very true to its name. It gets really hot and it can sizzle your parts, whatever comes in contact with it. Your parts. That don't make no sense. Y'all haven't been excited about a geode in a long time, and this I'm super pumped about. Probably been since I did my geode table that I've been like, yes, geode, yes, which was a couple hot minutes ago. What's up, Aaliyah? So we made this board and we are thinking about selling it in our online store. I just wanted to do a piece on it to make sure it was viable and get y'all's opinion on if I should put them in a shop or not. So by the end of this video, I want all of y'all's opinion. All of y'all. What's up, up, Lisa? I know. I'm super excited about it because when Jeff first did it, I was like, it seems excessive. And now that I'm working on it, I'm like, why didn't we do this sooner? Of course, you don't have to go through all this glass application if you don't want to. This is just a little something that I'm doing to make my geode more geode-y, in my opinion. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm going to say that for right now it's a word. I'm almost done. I just have this area and this area. Whoop, whoop. I get so excited before I like dump glitter off of something or dump glass off of something to see like the actual shape that I have created. Okay, glue. Okay. Also, keep in mind when you do geodes, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you think about it, nothing in nature is really actually perfect. Nothing's like super symmetrical. Randomness is very much a thing. So just keep that in mind and don't get like hard on yourself if it doesn't look exactly like what you have in mind. Oftentimes I'll have an idea in mind for the shape of a piece and I do it and I look at it and I'm like, this is 0% what I was thinking. But then the next day I'm like, okay, this is better than what I was thinking. Doris, I'm making a geode, but it's going to be a clear geode. So right now I'm just putting the inside texture on it because I want to go ahead and put this down first so that when I go back and add the the resin, it'll further cement where I have the glass and make it like even more stay where it is. I'm going to scoop up this glass that's down here real quick because waste not, want not. And if I leave it down there, it's going to get covered in resin and will be a very beautiful waste of everything. Used to, I could drop something and be like, man, I'll pick it up later. And now I have a Bowie who will eat everything as soon as I drop it. Does. Go. Somehow he hears it before it hits the floor, I think. Clara, that's exactly what it felt like. I felt like I just walked into a spider web. Anyone else turn into an instant ninja and have like a karate competition with basically yourself and a non-existent spider every time you walk into a spider web? It can't be just me. Oh, you are not allowed to chew on glass, okay, bud? Good talk. Okay. I know I said I was done with the glass, but I just want to some thinness over here that I want to fill in. You can also build up height on your texture area this way. Just add glue on top of where your glass is. In my opinion, you should really focus on keeping like the height on the inner area where the hole is. But I think I may have made that up. I don't know if that's for real, like if that actually makes a difference. Clara, thank you. Hiya. I don't think I've ever been rewarded for my ninja skills before, but it feels amazing. So right now I'm just building up this center edge. Just dribbling hot glue. I'm dropping that glass down. Okay, I'm seriously done this time. I'm done. I'm going to turn this off. Make sure everything is really on there. This part is probably not necessary because once I pour the resin on it, all these falling pieces will have stuck to my geode, but it's fine. So I think as most of my geodes go, I like to leave a big like clear area because I like the idea of seeing through the piece, especially if you're going to do like a side table or a coffee table. I think that gives like an extra awesome dimension to it if you can see through to the floor. Obviously, that's only my opinion, and everyone has different opinions. But I can share my opinion with you guys because we're all friends, right? We're fam. Woo! Didn't mean to do that. All right. Now that I have all this glass picked up, let me put it over here. I also have some of that diamond dust. This stuff, you can't really tell in that camera or that one, but this stuff is magic. But I'm gonna put it over there for now. All right, let's get our area back regular. Okay, there. Gonna get all these little strings of hot glue off. Luckily, it just rolls right off. Of course, as I say that, this one's giving me issues. Also, luckily, it's clear, so if for some reason this stuff didn't come off, you're not going to be able to see it anyways. So, awesome. Let's mix some colors. Doris, I'm not really sure. I appreciate the thought, though. There's some kind of slidey thing I hear. I don't know. I don't know how it works. But I appreciate the thought. So that's a good question, Clara. When Jeff cut this piece for me, he was toying with different shapes at the time, so he accidentally cut a line in it, and it goes not all the way through, it goes most of the way through though, but on the back it doesn't come all the way through. So that's not going to be something on the ones that we sell. It's just on this one as a test piece because we don't waste anything here. But we are thinking about go ahead and like pre-etching lines like this as kind of like a guide for people to kind of give them shape, like where to put different colors. Just a thought, I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking that the resin's gonna fill in this no problem. I almost poured on the opposite side instead, but then you would for sure be able to see it because resin wouldn't be able to seep into it. Anyways, colors. I am 2000% sure that I'm gonna need 2 of each. I'm out of my cups. I thought I ordered bigger mixing cups and I got like party cup size instead of like basically the in-between size. I don't know what I was thinking. It's my life. My pleasure, Doris. I'm sorry I don't know more about how to do the super chat tip thing. I know there's a way, but I don't know the way. All right. So I'm going to fill these guys up, mix some color, and apply some color. Hopefully 12 ounces is enough, but this is a pretty substantial size. This is not going to be enough. This is a pretty substantial size board. I feel like it's like 24 inches at the longest area of it. It's like 24 inches by maybe 18 inches. Y'all, so tomorrow I'm gonna probably do the kaos resin review. I know a lot of y'all have been asking me to review it for quite some time, and life has been all over the place here at ATD Studios, so planning on getting that done mañana. Jeff is still in, where is he? Kansas. He's still in Kansas. But he'll be back on like Thursday or Friday. So if you guys weren't here at the top of the show, I did this coaster yesterday with some leftovers, and I was very inspired to do a geode off of it. It's made with the same plastic as this cast acrylic. So it's going to be like an oceany geode. It's so frustrating, right, Aaliyah? My pleasure, Lisa. What? You got something to say, Little Beans? Of course you would walk out of frame as soon as I put you on camera. Thank you, Libby and Candy. What? What is it? You need to talk about something? What's the problem? Yeah? Then what? Like he gets no attention or something. What, Beans? What is it, baby? What is it? What? I know it. I know, but I can't pet you. I've got resin. Okay? I got resin and can't. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Go lay down, pretty boy. Go lay down. It's a pretty boy. It's a pretty boy. Oh, I know it. Oh, I know it. This resin is Art Coat from Stone Coat Countertops. I can't remember if I've used liquid glass before. I feel like I've used almost every kind of resin though. Is the liquid glass the same as the resin? Well, who makes liquid glass? Yay, Diane, I'm so excited. Green, are you asking if I'm making green for this piece, Benny? Thank you, Clara. Thank you, Miss Hal. I guess he got bored with Bowie Cam, so. Cujo's sitting on the bar as per usual. All right. So, little refresher, when you mix your resin, make sure you scrape the sides, the bottom, and your stir stick to make sure everything's fully incorporated, or else you may get weak spots in your resin painting, and then you have to Dremel those out, and it is not a fun time because it almost always happens that your favorite part of the painting is where the weak spot is that just never sets up. So just be extra thorough when you're doing this. A lot of people will pour, like after they mix this up, they'll pour it in another bucket and mix it up and then pour it back in this one and then mix it up. You're going to achieve the same thing by making sure you scrape the sides and the bottom really well while you're mixing. All right, I'll let that set for just a second while I mix these colors up. Diane, Bowie loves walking around with my shoes. Clearscape, thank you for the $1. I was supposed to be 15. Yeah, I think that's what the like little sliding scale is, but I appreciate the $2. I am not upset about it. Everything that you guys send us, we put right back into the channel, so I appreciate it. Tri-Art makes liquid glass, but it doesn't get very hard at all. It has a rubbery texture, but it has its uses. That's interesting, since you would think something that says liquid glass would be very rigid. Okay, so this is the white from Just Resin. As the rule goes, 10% paint to resin ratio. So it's my belief that geodes and resin art in particular look more elegant if the lines are thicker rather than a whole bunch of thin lines. It kind of makes it busy looking. So I'm going to stick with that theory on this piece. This next color is dark turquoise by Color Obsession. It's my #1 all-time favorite color ever invented. ever. Anytime someone's like, what's your favorite color? Or like brand or what favorite anything, this one always ends up in the short list of you should definitely get this color. Also, I have these little teeny spatulas that I'll make sure to link in the description box under my Amazon that will get up under the ridge of these little jars and get like all the last bits out of a jar, because we're not wasting paint around here. This is not cheap. So this is spent. No, it's not. There's some in the lid. I would not recommend doing this after you put your stir stick in your resin, but since this is spent anyways, it's fine. Thank you so much. Diane, Bowie steals all the things all the time from all the places. He always takes everything to his ball pit. That's where shoes go to die. That's where remotes go to die. I lost my phone one time, and it turns out it was in his ball pit. Likes to take your pillows outside. Oh no. Bowie Beans, calm down, bud. You're okay. All right. Next color is going to be the Fantasy Blue by Artisu. Oh, I was like, it's not going to focus, but then it did, so it's fine. This is like a blue with a turquoise hue to it. Enough, Bose. Now this is a powder, so don't do that. I was just about to say be careful because it will go everywhere, as it went everywhere. Powders, they say also the 10% rule, but I like to think that you really need a little bit more than that when you mix powders, because it'll kind of dilute as you manipulate your painting, and especially if you have like a clear layer down like I like to do. Also, fun fact, if you drip a little bit of resin over the top of your powder mixture, it'll be less likely to plume up in your face. It's a fun color. Very mermaidy. Don't you think? You want your powders to be really nice and opaque so that it doesn't get lost in your painting. Especially since I'm specifically using a powder to get it to give a different texture, and that usually comes from slightly overloading your powder, which I'll be demonstrating for y'all anyways. Check, check. Just everywhere. Luckily, this is not a canvas and it's not gonna like soak into it. There. So, next color. Dragon Scale from KS. They sent me this color before we went on our vacation, but I didn't get a chance to really review it before we left. So that's what we're doing now. The color really reminds me of Turquoise Luster by Just Resin, The consistency is very similar to that as well. So if you've ever used turquoise luster by Just Resin, then you know what's up with this color. I will say when I used it like last night, I think it was, y'all, that is how much my days run together. Pretty sure it was last night. It did some really awesome things. It works well with other brands of pigments. So this is very similar to that powder I just mixed up, so I'm probably only going to do one of these, maybe two, who knows. Thank you, Libby. Put that aside, my dark turquoises aside. I have my Just Resin white, I'm gonna put it over there, blank cup, and some gold. This gold is by Color Obsession. Fun fact, this will jump out and basically attack you if you don't like open it really carefully. I'm going to make more of this than I usually would because I'm gonna basically edge my glass area with the gold. I overload the gold more than any other color because it's got those floaty little flecks in it. And it might just be in my brain, but I feel like it does that more if you really load the color in there and make it super thick and concentrated. While I overload a lot of my colors, be careful with that. You can always add more. I've been mixing resin colors for a long time, and so I kind of know what I can get away with at this point. Add a little bit at a time till you know what you're comfortable with. Don't just pour a whole bunch of color into your resin, because then you really risk your resin thickening up on you. Look at that molten gold. Love it. All right. Bowie, he doesn't want to play with you right now, bud. Doris, I did not give an answer because I have never, I don't think, used liquid glass, and so I don't think I can really speak on how it acts. I will figure out if I can get my hands on some so I can review for you guys, hopefully sooner than later. All right. First thing I'm going to do is rim my crystal area with, no, I'm not. I'm going to add some clear over. I'm going to add some clear over my crystals. This is because I want to make sure that all of my crystals are, well, I say crystals, it's actually fire glass. I want to make sure that they're in there for good. And while hot glue is awesome, it doesn't have the best staying power. So adding some clear resin will ensure that these guys don't really go anywhere. Jeff just texted me and asked what I'm doing, like he doesn't know what time it is on a Tuesday. Right. Now that that is on there, I'm going to add my gold around the outside area. I don't really care if it like goes over some of the gold, I mean some of the, what am I pouring on? Glass. I don't really care if it goes over some of the glass. It'll just give it an interesting texture, I feel. Especially when I cover all this area where the blue kind of got on my glass. Since this is really like the first color you're putting down, it's gonna dictate what kind of shape you're gonna work with. So I always kind of give myself something to go off of when I add my first color. Because if you think about it, geodes basically are just a bunch of repetitive lines. So I'm going to kind of control what those lines look like at this point. Voila! Hi, Bee! Yes, this is the big geode that you cut for me. So if you guys notice with geodes, enough moves. The shape is kind of like outward pointed, at least from the ones that I've seen. So I kind of make sure I have some of those going on. One time I did it and I kind of did it the opposite way. So the points were all coming inward and it looked kind of just like a cloud and it was horrible. Anyways. So the next color I'm going to put down is the dark turquoise. I just want to be right on the edge of this gold. Since I don't have a clear down right now, it's only going to stay where I already have resin. So I don't have to really worry about it spreading out, you know? That squeaky sound is Bowie testing Cujo's patience. I bet all of the money that that squeak is Cujo's favorite toy. Just gonna use my handy dandy AT stir stick to control the shape of some of these points. And make sure I get every drop of resin out of this little cup. Because we don't waste resin around here. All right. Put that aside. What's this 03? What did I forget? Oh, the 03 artist. I'm in Kansas City and I try to make it to all the art shows in the surrounding areas when I can and didn't know if they went to any of them to sell works. Jeff is in Wichita right now. All right. I think I'm gonna mix some white with stone coat and just resin. Now, usually I kind of try to warn people not to go too heavy-handed on the base tint in your resin because then your cells aren't going to stay, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But for this, I kind of want that bleeding, feathery look that happens when you have a little bit too much of the base tint. Hi, Bowie Beans. Could you tell that your dad was here in the room? Yeah? Hold on. Is that better? I can't hug you right now, my baby. I can't hug you right now. You're being a good boy. You're being a good boy. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. That's a good boy. Okay. Go lay down, bud. All right. Whites. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the edge of my dark turquoise, and then I'm going to add the white. Nope, the clear. I'm adding the white and then the clear. Bowie, go lay down, bud. We can't play right now. I'm sorry. But you're beautiful. I know it, Beans. Go lay down. You're a good boy. Okay. Bowie. Kind of wanted to avoid that, but we're trying to control the pour like by going a little bit more slow. That's even more bound to happen. That frilly look. It is what it is, though. There we go. I feel like a little bit it's shifting this way, so I'm just going to rotate it all the way around to this way. Just in case it is sliding, it's sliding into the piece rather than where it's really close to being off of the piece. What is the line around what? Clearscape, I would love to show you guys how I would turn this into a table. I actually have a Geode table video that I added legs to already on YouTube, but I will absolutely do that. All right, so now I'm going to add clear. And this is going to be kind of a bigger area because I love the idea of it being see-through. Like if it's a side table, you can see the floor. I just love that idea. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't go all the way. That's where you cut into it a little bit. Remember? You remember. Really digging how this piece is looking so far. All right. Now let's do the dragon scale. You may notice that my line thickness varies from area to area. And that is because I'm trying to keep up with the shape as I go all the way around it. So where I have more room over here, the line's going to be thicker as opposed to like where it's almost running off the side. I'm just going to edge up some of my points. When you do this, when you try to shape your points like this, you don't have to worry about it in like being completely smooth because this resin's going to self-level anyways. So it'll fill in any low parts as long as you have resin already touching that area, because it self-levels. I love that this resin gives me such a long working time, so I don't have to like really stress out about what the clock says. Thank you, Anne. Yeah, that color is awesome. It's very much like Just Resin's turquoise luster. So if you've used that one, then that gives you something to compare it to. Because you know, these cameras aren't exactly true color sometimes. So remember I told you that I added a little bit extra of the Stone Coat base tint. That was to get it to kind of, oh, this camera angle is not going to work for that. To get it to do this like feathering, bleeding thing. And that comes from adding a little bit more of that base tint than you would normally. So as it begins to set up, it'll even do more of that. So it'll have that natural like fractal type look to it, you know? Fractal's a word, right? I didn't mess that up. So now I'm gonna put the, should I do white or the dark turquoise at this point? I feel like I need another gold rim too. Of course, there's not enough resin for that. We'll just mix up a little bit more in BD. I'm just getting the leftover resin out of this cup so I can mix a little bit more up. The great thing about this surface, like it being kind of like the coasters, is that once it's set up, I just peel the back of it off like I peeled the front of it off, and I don't have like any cleanup to do. That is my favorite thing ever, because cleanup is a pain in the booty. Hi, Linda. Thanks for joining us. Ooh, fractal is a word. Now I feel like I should walk around with like a lab coat on since I like scienced proper. So the surface is kind of like what we, well, kind of, it's not kind of, it's exactly what we make our coasters out of, the clear coasters and the clear canvases. It's a cast acrylic. And I did this coaster yesterday and I was super inspired by it, and I was like, I'm gonna do that on this large geode situation that I've got. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so I'm gonna mix it a little bit more gold. See how it's even more fractaling? Fractaling, I'm extra sure that that's not a thing. But that's what I was looking for with overloading my stone coat, and I think it looks awesome. Awesome. So, not a thing, but make it a thing, right? So, and we actually cut this shape from a large piece of cast acrylic, the one that we use for our stir sticks. And, well, it's different than the stir sticks. It's slightly different kind of cast acrylic, but it's cast acrylic nonetheless. And we designed the shape and cut it down and are pouring on it. And so I'm thinking about putting it in the store, but I need y'all's feedback on if you think it's a go or no go. Because I like it. I'll probably do another one of these at some juncture. Just like with canvases though, our clear surfaces will only hold how do I say this? Since resin is going to self-level, and depending on the viscosity of your resin, you can't add too much resin to the surface of these, just like with canvases, because it's going to flow off once it hits an 1/8 inch. It's just going to find its way off. The surface tension of the edges can't hold it. That being said, we make sure that our round cradle boards and our coasters and our clear canvases are all right angles, so that helps with the surface tension and keeping as much resin as possible on the surface. So if you're pouring on something with rounded sides, it's going to be more likely to roll some of your resin off, as opposed to if something is a right angle, it'll dome at the edges. Yeah, we're thinking about making them available. I got you, Clara. Those lines, I can still kind of see a couple of them, but we'll see. I would have the guts to try one like this, sell them. Awesome. If it's going to give anyone out there at all, anybody, confidence to give geodes a shot, like, I've heard that from a few people that they haven't done a geode yet, even though they've really wanted to, because they don't know what shape they would want. They don't know where to start on the shape. It's difficult, so we'll go ahead and start cutting them. I'll have Jeff start when he gets back. Yeah, it'll probably be a small, medium, large situation. All right. So what do you guys think in terms of what color should go next? Do you think gold, dark turquoise, or white? Yeah, we'll probably do a small, medium, large. I don't know if I just said that out loud or if I repeated that in my head. But for sure, we'll do the 3 sizes. We're also thinking about doing custom stir sticks. Like, you can send me your logo or studio name, and we'll add it to some stir sticks. That's just a thought. I have to convince Jeff of that. Oh, it's super intimidating. I mean, resin's intimidating in general, but then you add the fact that you want it to look like something in particular. Like, most times when you pour with resin, your main goal is to make it look not like spaghetti throw up, right? As long as it looks good, it doesn't have to look like anything, just has to look elegant. But you don't want to waste the resin as well. So there's that, and then add in the fact that you want it to look like a geode, and that adds a whole nother level of intimidation factor for resin. So majority says gold. So I'm going to do a thin gold. If your color goes off the edges, like on some of these areas, I'm not able to fit in this color, just keep pouring all the way off the side. Don't like stop the pour. And then like don't pick it up and then pour it back down and pick it up. That's going to give an interruption to your lines, and you really want it to be a fluid, cohesive, continual line. In my opinion. What do I know? Okay. I did not pre-sand this. It's always better to be safe than sorry with things like this. I did not pre-sand it, but I had these like little etches in there, which will be grabbing onto the resin because resin's going to seep down into those. So I did not pre-sand it. It's better to be safe than sorry. Like, if I do sell these, I would recommend a light sanding because once the resin touches it, it's going to seep into your sanding areas and it'd be fine. That being said, I have tried to peel resin off of the surface of one of the rounds that I did, like the 18-inch clear round. And while I ended up ultimately getting it off in very many chunks, I had to like gouge at it. If you set your mind to it, you can peel it off. You have to be very determined, however, to do that. So, dark turquoise. I'm pouring this from a little bit higher up and a little bit slower and in a smaller stream so that it kind of falls in kind of a swirly pattern to give that edge a little bit extra texture, to give that like feathery look. Typically I don't like that look like in a regular painting, but for this, I think it just adds a little something else. I'll zoom you guys in a little bit so that you can see what I'm talking about. You know those like, is it Hostess or Little Debbie that has those little chocolate cupcake things or ho-hos or whatever, and it has like the swirly thing across it. That's what it's kind of doing, and so that gives, I'll leave you up there. So it gives this look, and that is something that's very Geode, which I'm 100% sure is not a word yet, but maybe now. Is it Hostess? Awesome. That happens the slower you go and the smaller stream you pour out. So you can pour from a little bit higher up if you're trying to do that. Or just pour a little bit slower. We're almost there, y'all. I'm going to put this blue that I haven't used, this Fantasy blue, and this outside. I'm just going to let that be the thick line, probably the finisher. Just fill in all those areas. Since this was one of the first colors I mixed up, it's one of the thicker viscosities, consistencies. All the other instances. So it's a lot thicker because it's been setting for a while, which is fine because that'll help to keep things from flowing off of my edges. Jeff's super pumped about the hats and things that he's coming up with. I'm just going to use my hand to push this color to the edge. I don't want to just fill it with resin all the way to the edge, particularly because it's thicker. So since it is thicker, it's not going to just flow as well as it would otherwise. So I'm going to move it to the edge, because if I just keep pouring resin on all the way up to the edge, it's just going to stack more resin on there and create a more difficult surface tension situation. I'm also kind of chopping it a la stone coat style, because this is the one that was a powder, and this could be absolutely just in my head, but I feel like the powder particles are thicker than the paste particles. And so if you impose a texture like this, then you'll be able to see it once the resin sets. And I'll bring you guys in to see what I'm talking about. I'm also picking up a little bit of that blue and white area where it's just slightly touching. So that's creating another, like, a gradient look as well. Did not like that, so let's scrape that off. Very nice, very nice. So I'm putting just a line of this color through it because I just want to display for you guys how whenever you change what the surface looks like, whether you're chopping it or if you just add another like row of the color, you're going to be able to tell where that is because of how the particles lay. So I'm going to get you guys a zoomed in area of that in just a second as well. So what's up, Joe? So I haven't put any heat on this yet. I suppose it's time to do that. So where I put that 007, all those little gold particles are flecking up, and I love that. I'm going to zoom you guys in a second so you can see what I'm talking about. You don't want to add too much heat, you just want to pop the bubbles. Adding too much heat will thin out your resin and make it more likely to flow all the way off of your surface. Where you're just trying to pop bubbles. Make sure if you're using a torch that you're nowhere near any open flame. You cannot be held liable if you catch your studio on fire. I'm also going to come back through and like, I don't know, 20 minutes and hit it with heat one more time. You can't really tell on here, but I added that extra line through here. Ooh. You can see the little extra gold flecks hitting and coming up through these areas. Now, I haven't added any glitter to this piece yet. And I don't know if you know this, but glitter is always an option. Joe, what's the question? This will be uploaded as soon as I kill the live feed. I'll upload the video. I have some of just Resin's Halo. But I'm not sure if anything may have gotten into that. Because it's been setting out. So let's get a new one. That just looks better. It's not even going to focus. Maybe a little bit. All right. I'm going to lose these gloves. So I can be a little bit precise with this. I'm just right now putting it into my glass areas. And I'm torn on if I'm going to leave this as the final layer or do another top layer. Because if I'm going to do a top layer, like another color layer, I'm going to do another one of those, then I probably won't add a glitter ring in here. But if I'm going to leave it basically just like this, and I'll probably go ahead and add a ring of glitter. What do y'all think? We cut this out of a large piece of acrylic, but I'm gonna add this to our website soon. I would make a mold of it, but y'all, silicone is so expensive. It would take easily $64, maybe even close to $100 of silicone to be able to cast something this size. And I think that would basically like price it out of a lot of people's budgets. And if it's not really affordable, then I really don't have time for it, because I'm not trying to put a whole bunch of time and energy into something that's really not attainable for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Can't wait to post a true color video. So if it's already done, then maybe I'll add maybe right in between this dragon scale and the gold, a glitter resin ring around it. What do you guys think? It would be all transparent if I did another paint layer on top of this so that you could see. I need another little stir stick. Have one. Oops. Thanks, Joe. Jeff did it for me, and I just haven't had the opportunity to use it till just now. So when you use glitter in your resin for geodes, you really need to hyper load it. If you're a lady and you've ever painted your nails with like glitter nail polish and you look at it in the jar and you're like, this is super glittery and amazing. And then you put a coat down and it's like bloop, bloop, bloop. That's all the glitter that's in there. It kind of works the same way with resin. You need to like really load it to make it noticeable. The only thing about this is it's silver and everything else in here is oh yeah, no, Joe, this is the backing paper. It's a silver and everything here is gold. Let me see if I have some gold glitter as well. So I've got this gold, it's like a pale gold glitter from bulkglitter.com. This is Trickster Gaze. It's kind of like a pale gold, but it might work to add to this to brighten it up a little bit. And I also brought some of the gold dust from Stone Coat. So let's see if I can, let's not waste all of it. Let's pour it into another cup. Let's see what we can finagle. If we add some gold dust to it. Y'all, don't breathe any glitter in. It's not good for your health, by the way. I should have a respirator on or something, but then I can't talk to y'all. So what do you guys think of this color? Wish it would focus. That would be awesome. It's just not going to focus. Or is it too like abrasive of a color? I think it'll work. Jason, I've got a video on the melting or waterfall technique pour. If you search those words and Artist Till Death, I have full tutorials on that. Basically, you just need some plastic and something that can hold your painting up at an angle. All right, so let's go full in with this gold situation. Now I'm just gonna fold this in ever so gently so it doesn't go everywhere. My pleasure, Jason. If you can't find it, shoot me an email and I will narrow those down for you. Not gonna focus. It's just not. It's too glittery. See how slow that rolls off? You really want something like that consistency. Okay. So I was thinking about putting it in between the gold and the dragon scale. What do you guys think? About that location? Or do you have a better idea? Thanks, B. Those wood sticks. I haven't used any wood sticks today. I sell these ones on our website, artisttilldeath.com. They're reusable, better for the environment. Okay, you guys. No one's giving me feedback. Between the white and the clear. I would, but it's starting to like feather in and look kind of like waves in some areas, so I don't want to really interrupt what that's gonna do. Or else I would. Maybe I'll do it on this side of the I don't want to do that either. And I was thinking about putting it between the dragon and the clear, but then I'll have like a sandwich of gold. Middle of the clear. I don't want to interrupt the clear, and I can't, like, the clear's already disappeared down here. Maybe I'll put it I think it'll be actually really okay going through the gold that's already there. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to go for it. It'll be subtle. Okay. Trying really hard to have a definite shape with this, because while it's subtle, it's, you can still tell it's there, you know? I hope it doesn't sink too much. There is a lot of resin on this surface. Bowie, be sweet. He always wants to play, and Cujo's like, I'm very busy right now. Cannot be bothered. I think I like that. What do you guys think? Thanks, B. He's trying so hard to get Cujo to play with him. Moo's just like, nah. He's gonna get you, Bowie. Let's just add a little bit of this funness into this area. It's already mixed up, might as well use it, right? Right. That being said, there's a lot of resin on this thing. So the fact that I mixed that original batch of resin an hour and a half ago, and it's been setting on this board. And now this is more fresh resin. It'll be less likely to kind of like meld into each other, so it'll actually stay to itself, like these hard lines. It'll be just like that tomorrow. Let's hope. Things have a way of being exactly the opposite of what I say sometimes. And I don't know if that's like a me thing or you shouldn't have said that out loud thing. Who knows? Either way, I'm pumped about how this is turning out. It's gonna hit it with a little bit. Oh, they are. Whoops. They know that it's around OUT time, and so they're just over there waiting on the closing credits ultimately. So I just added some resin, so I need to hit that area with heat to pop those bubbles. Again, not too much heat because you don't want to like liquefy your resin. You okay, Mose? So this piece is roughly like a 24 by 18 maybe. No, B, it didn't. Thanks, Angie. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a true color video while I'm thinking about it. Well, looks like I just did a true color photo, not a video. Fail. Piece is going to look extra awesome once I can peel the back of it off and it's clear. And I have some table legs here that I will use for the legs of this if you guys want to see how I would attach those legs. I also have a video that's already posted on how I attach the table legs. Wish you guys could see how awesome sparkly this is, but it's just not going to catch up on that in the video for YouTube. So you'll just have to join the Poor People's group to see it. I'll post this while I'm walking the boys. Go ahead and put this in the dust free zone while I'm thinking about it. Try not to get resin literally everywhere. Right. Thought it would be heavier. gonna have to set that thing up on these stilts because I did not realize that all of the inside glass that I laid on there is making it uneven. Which is fine, I just have to address it. Perfect. All right. So once that piece has set up completely, I will remove the backing from it, just like I'm going to show you on this. This is just a coaster that we have on our website. I did this one yesterday, and I guess I should give you an overhead just so you guys know how we remove the backing. I just use some tweezers. You can use an X-Acto blade, really anything, just to get under this backing. And like I said in the beginning of the video, it comes like this. There's the backing on both sides. Just leave one side on, peel the other side off. That way, once your piece has set, there's like zero cleanup because all of the mess is on the backing. And so you just peel it off. And that's all you have to do for cleanup. And now you have something beautiful that's clear, and there's no muss, no fuss. It's just good to go. You can put clear bumpers on the back of this, or you can not and have it just be a reversible coaster or a Christmas ornament or a mobile. That reminds me, we need to do some of these that have a hole in it so we can make them Christmas ornaments. So Anne, I'm working with Carrie, Scarlett's wife, to get these things called standoffs. And basically they're these little just things. I don't have one on me, but basically it's just a mount for things that don't have a backing on them. So you can hang them up on a wall. The colors I used on the coaster is the same as the colors I used on this one, which was dark turquoise, 007, titanium white mixed with a little bit of stone coats, this white, and china blue. That's what I used on both of these guys. I love them. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in and seeing what I am up to today. Dark turquoise has always been my favorite, Joe. Anyone who's ever used it can tell you it's the best color I've ever in Everness. So thank you for joining us and seeing what we're up to today. Sorry this is kind of a longer video. Oh, I'm at the 2-hour mark. Insane! That's funny since a lot of times our older videos were well into 3 hours. Anyways. Oh, I'm going to have him make the geode cutouts for you guys. Absolutely 100%. Come here, boys. Let me say goodbye. Come here. Oops. Come on. So, thank you guys so much for joining us, seeing what we're up to today. We love you all so much. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us. I hope you try this out. If you're interested in the freeform geode canvas shape, comment below, send me an email. As soon as Jeff gets back though, I'm gonna have him cut some for you guys. But what size do you think would be good? Like a 12 inch, an 18 inch, and a 24 inch? Or do you think it should be like 12, 8, 12, 20, 24? I don't know. What do you guys think? Hit me up in the comments below and we will make those happen as soon as Jeff gets back from Kansas. Be kind to one another. You never know what someone may be going through. We do have classes still open in Colorado, Arizona, and Vegas. Our Florida class is sold out. But if you want to still come by and say hi, we would love for you to do that. I will be posting where we're going to be on what days as soon as I know, because I never know. Yeah, if you want to get in contact with us any other ways, just look up here at the top. Doink, doink, doink. We post videos every day. I try to go live every day, but if not, I have something posted every day. If you have something you would like us to review, hit me up, let me know. My snail mail address is up there at the top as well. And yeah, if you have any questions or any requests on a video you would like me to try, technique you would want me to try, leave it in the comments or shoot me an email, thornton@artisttodeath.com, 2 T's, 2 L's. I do sell all of these colors except for the KS Dragon Scale on our website, artisttodeath.com, 2 T's, 2 L's. I guess it's 2 L's, 2 T's. Either way, I gotta take these guys out before Cujo pees on my feet, but we'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Standard, Dallas, Texas, United States time, which forever, wherever you guys are, it's 4:12 here. So tomorrow, 4 hours from now, we'll be live. Hit the bell so you guys know, but yeah. Anyways, Vamp, you know what time we go live on Tuesdays? Anyways, till next time. Bye. We said bye. Boy.